Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, let us understand the new feature introduced in Power BI, UDF, User Defined Functions. So what is UDF? Creating your own functions like other DAX functions and then use them to create measures, calculated columns and even creating further UDFs. This feature is still in preview, so you need to activate this from the preview features before using it. So in this video, I'll be explaining how to activate it, then what is the syntactical approach, what syntax you have to write so that it can be added to your model, and then we'll be showing you one simple business case where using the UDF, how to achieve the output of CAGR, compound annual growth rate, and save it into the model. So my request is to watch the video till the end. And also please like this video and share with others. Please don't forget to subscribe this channel. First, let us see how to activate this feature. So for that, go to File, Options and Settings. Inside Options, you will get the Backstage. Inside the Backstage, go to Preview Features and then you need to select the option called DAX User Defined Functions. Once you press OK, you need to restart your Power BI desktop application again. I need not do that because it has already been added to my Power BI desktop. Now let us see how to write the syntax and what to write and where to write. For that, I need to jump into the DAX query view. So there I can type my function, define the function, and then I can evaluate the function. I can test it by using the run. And once it is done properly, I can update that into the model by pressing this button. Currently it is inactive, but nothing is there to update. So let us start with define function. And my function, this is my function name, equal. So I need to define the variables or arguments what should be inside that function. For example, if you write a sum function, so it will ask you the column name. If you write SumX function, it will ask you table name and then expression. Same way, what you are going to supply within this function. So I'll say my first number and I need to define the data type, it's numeric. And then my second number is again numeric. And then define this as a function and then let us write the function inside what exactly I'm going to do, the action. I want to multiply these two numbers. So my first number multiply my second number. That's it. So that is how my function is done. I can just add to the model. I can test it outside, but we can evaluate within this same window by evaluate. Since I'm not having any table function, I need to use the curly braces to test the measure. So what is the measure name? What is the function name? My function, and I'm supplying 4, 5. Now if I just run, you can see the value 20. Suppose you change it into 5, and then if I run again, it gives me the value 25. Now I can update it, update the model with changes, and then I can go to my report view and I can add a new measure, then testing function equal my function and then 100, 300. That's it. And if I add one card visual and let me add this measure into the card, you can see the value 30K. That means 30,000. So that is what we did. 100 into 300 is 30,000. With that, we understood how to just type the function and what is the syntactical approach. We can do much more complex functions, but let us understand what exactly we have to write or type inside the DAX query view. Later we can enhance it. Before getting into any proper business case, let us understand one more example which will give you more idea about this UDF. So this time I am supplying two numbers and I'm asking the user to give whether he want to add or subtract or divide or multiply. Based on that, the value will come. So let me jump into my DAX query view, define function, my cust function equal first number, which is a numeric, second number, which is again numeric, then act, which is string. That means what action he wants. Then define this as a function and give the final action. So switch act. If that action is equal to add, then first number plus second number. If that is sub, then first number minus second number. If it is mul, first number multiply second number, and then division number divided by second number. Suppose if they don't give any value, it will be just adding it. Now let us test it. So evaluate my cust function, then I'll supply 4, 3, then I will not say anything. Just I can skip, but it will not allow me. That means I need to add the value. So I'll just add the value and close the curly brace and then run. Since I didn't mention anything, it has to give me this value. That means 4 plus 3, 7. The value is 7. Suppose if I type here sub and if I run it, it gives me 1 because 4 minus 3 is 1. If I say mul and run, 4 3s are 12. So it's working nicely. Now I can use this particular function after updating into the model. So you can see functions, my cust function, my function, these functions are all part of the model. Now let me test it. So I'll just add one more measure, my custom function equal my cust function, then 200, 500, add, and then if I add a card visual to test it. So here, since I did the addition, 700 should be the value. And you can see the value is 700. Now I hope you understood the easiness of custom functions or user-defined functions. Now let us jump into the real business case. I have some data with respect to the sales and I need to calculate the CAGR for two different values. One is revenue, which is a gross revenue, and the net revenue after discounting. I have certain columns like date, year, month, etc. and I'm using the year column to calculate my CAGR. So for that, I need to explain the formula to you. So let me go to Excel. So this is the data and I just created a summary of it and then I've added all the values and their respective years. So here the number of years are actually 8, but my completed years are only 7 because first year there will not be any CAGR as such. It is starting year. After completion of 17, at the beginning of 18 only we'll have a CAGR. So I will take only 7 years. So the function is simple. First of all, I need to pick up the first year revenue. So let me write like this: first year, last year revenue rather, divided by first year revenue, and then exponent of 1 divided by completed years. That means 8 minus 1. So let me just put it into the brackets. and then -1. So which will give me the CAGR. So I wanted to do for total revenue. So that I'll select last year revenue divided by first year revenue, then exponent of 1 divided by 7 -1. And if I select that into a percentage sign, you can see the overall CAGR is 10.48%. This is what I would like to see in my DAX calculation. So in case of net revenue, it is 10.43%. So how to achieve it? Now let's jump into Power BI and start evaluating. So let us construct the UDF first. Since we know the formula, let me go to the DAX query view and let me remove this. Then define function CAGR equal. I need to define the attributes and their data types. L year value, that means last year value, which is decimal. Same way F year value, that is first year value, that is again decimal. Years, that is numeric. So these are the three variables we are going to supply. So define as a measure and then create an action. Within brackets, last year value divided by first year value, exponent of 1 divided by years -1. So that is what is my function. I need to know my first year value and last year value. So I'll create a new measure table, CAGR measures. So let me create first number for first year value. First year value equal. I need to find out the first year first of all. So variable year 1 equal. Calculate minimum year from the sales data, all sales data. So it will give me the minimum year in that particular table. Return. I need to find out calculate sum of revenue, comma, filter sales data where sales data year equal to year 1. It gives me the first year value. Let us check it whether this is giving the right value or not. So let me just replace this with the first year value. Is giving 135.88 million. So let me add a table, add year column and say don't summarize, then add the total revenue, and you can see the first year value is 135.8 million. So that is good. Same way I need to create the second year value. Simple. I will just copy this function and create a new measure, last year value. Then here I'll just instead of minimum I say maximum, then I'll write year end, last year and year end. Now let me add one more card. In this, if I add the last year revenue, you can see it is showing the same value what is there in the table. So with that we are good to go. Now I need to find out the number of years. I'll create a new measure. Measure number is number of years equal distinct count year column in the table. So obviously if I add a card visual, it will give me the number of years 8. So with that our values are ready. Same way, suppose if you want to have the net revenue, I can just create a new measure. Rather, I'll just copy this first year. So I'll just create a new measure, first year net value, sum of net revenue. Remaining will be the same. Same way, I'll select the last year value function, then create a new measure and paste it. This will be last year net value. Same way here, net revenue, and this is also done. Now it's very simple. So let me remove all these guys for the time being. Let me add a new measure. Measure name is CAGR gross. This is the function. If you see, the symbol is now FX. It's a function. It's a custom function. That means UDF, user created function, and then CAGR. Now it is asking me what is the first year value and what is the last year value. Last year value, comma, first year value, comma, number of years. If I just drag drop this into a card visual and I convert into a percentage sign, it's showing me 10.48%, which is exactly the same which is shown in Excel. Same way, this is the gross. So I'll create one more measure, CAGR net, because it's on the net revenue. So CAGR last year net value, comma, first year net value, comma, number of years, and my job is done. Add one more card visual, and if I add this into and convert into a percentage sign, it's 10.43, which is exactly matching with the Excel formulas. So that is how you can create a simple user defined function. I'm coming up with more complex examples, but I want you to give me a feedback what kind of function you want to create. If you give an idea, I can actually convert that into a formula and share with you. Please do subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. Please like this video and please comment about this video, what you have learned from this and whether it is easy or not. Accordingly, I can make it more simplified way in another video.